My so-called life is sponsored by How's it going? I'm Godless Sewing, and this is the Godless Sewing channel. So, really quickly, do you ever notice that when someone says really quickly, it always takes a while? So, this is going to be a short video about my 1904 Singer sewing machine. The other day, I went to Rooster's Relics and completely scored a beautiful vintage sewing machine, but I made a bit of a huge editing error when I was making my video. So, I'm just going to make a short video about this awesome sewing machine. It is one of the most duplicated sewing machines of all time, and I completely scored. So as always, strap on, wear a helmet, and let's go sewing.
A short while ago, America fell in love with the Singer Handy Stitch. But you ain't seen nothing yet. Introducing the Singer Tiny Tailor, a compact, lightweight mender. It's genuine Singer quality, genuine Singer performance, at a price that will amaze you. This Singer may be called Tiny Tailor, but there's nothing tiny about the features.
This is a 1904 Singer sewing machine. This came from Elizabethport, New Jersey, and I am stoked to have this 118-year-old sewing machine in my sewing room. Last week I went to Rooster's Relics and I was beyond surprised to find this sewing machine. It's under new ownership, and I love the new owner because he knew exactly who I was and what I was looking for. This machine is amazing. It's one of the most mass-produced sewing machines of all time, and still to this day you can go online and buy a brand new sewing machine. It's not Singer, but it's modeled after this sewing machine. I think it's amazing that after all of these years, people still use these sewing machines. So, I'm gonna take it apart, put it back together, see if I can get it going. So through trial and error, I have learned quite a few things about this machine. I own two antique white rotary sewing machines. So I was thinking that they were based on this machine, and they are, but they're exact opposites in a lot of ways. When you're dealing with an older white rotary sewing machine, when it's a treadle machine, when the machine turns, it turns away from you. With Singer sewing machines, they turn towards you. And once I figured that out, I got this thing going. I am beyond stoked with this machine. It needs a little bit more work, but it's going. Treadle machines are less dramatic than the machines that you could put a motor on, because I could throw a motor on this thing and fire it right up. But this machine is so old, it doesn't have the mounts. The older Singer sewing machines were made for both treadle and electronic motors. But this machine is from 1904, so this is a treadle machine. I am stoked to add this to the fleet. So, I'm going to keep on working on this. As I always say, stay creative, keep sewing.
Oops. This Christmas, make tracks down to Sears, because these Kenmore vacs are at our lowest prices ever. Like this upright, with 9.5 amps and onboard tools, just $99.99. Or this Kenmore canister with 5 peak horsepower and free PowerMate Junior, a $50 value, now just $199.99. Kenmore, only at Sears, your home for the holidays.
So as you can see, The Singer design was copied by most sewing machine companies. This particular design has lasted throughout time. This machine on the left is a white family rotary sewing machine. It's from 1914 and it has the exact same design as the machine from 1904. They moved a few parts around, and like I said earlier, this machine, the white turns away from you and the Singer turns towards you. But that's really the only difference. These antique sewing machines are amazing because after all these years, they still work. Although I love Faith No More, this is my lost segment without music blaring over it. One day I will be able to drive past Rooster's Relic and not come home with a sewing machine. But it was not today. The table is completely trashed. This is a 1904 Singer sewing machine, and I am so stoked it's not even funny. Well, I'm going to take this out of the table because I'm more concerned about the sewing machine right now. I can save the wrought iron, but the table is trash. So, I'm going to start taking this thing apart, see what happens. For 118 years old, this sewing machine cleans up well. I completely scored from Rooster's Relics, and like I said, I do not walk in there unless I have money in my pocket, because antiquing is fun, but it gets expensive. If you've made it this far, I thank you. And as always, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time.
Looking for that good stuff.